Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this video newsletter is going to be how to get laid on the first date. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. I've got an email from a coaching client of mine, and he's an attorney, he's very successful, he's recently divorced, and a good thing about him is he knows a lot of people. He's a very sociable guy. He knows a lot of very beautiful women that he has been friends with over the years. And the cool thing about it, now that he's single and he's got yours truly coaching him, is he's actually going out there and starting to get success, and he's going out on first dates and getting laid on. He's like, this shit fucking never happened to me before. And just like I talk about in the book, and if you've been reading my articles or watching my videos for a while, you see is that when you apply this stuff and you learn to own it, and by using repetition being the mother of skill, you learn this stuff and you start to own it, and then women start responding to you just like I talk about in my book and I talk about in all my other articles. And that's what's so cool about this stuff, is because when you show up and you're comfortable and you're confident and you exude that energy to women and other people out there, just your presence is going to cause her to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to feel secure around you, and also it'll cause her to drop her barriers so she feels comfortable, like she can open up to receive your masculine presence. Because a woman wants more than anything just to be accepted and loved the way she is. Her bitchiness, her nastiness, her goofiness, her dorkiness, all of her parts of her body that she may feel uncomfortable about, whatever it is. So when she's with a guy that's comfortable with himself and he knows what to do and he's charming and he's not affected by her beauty, he'll do everything right. And when you do that, like I talk about, and I'm sure you've read before, is that a man's job when courting a woman is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. That's the whole point of this whole mating dance, is for it to end up in the bedroom. And what most guys do, like I've talked about many times before, is that they talk women right out of sleeping with them. Because like I said, women want sex just as much as you do. And what's interesting, especially women that are divorced and got kids, and so let me share this email I got from one of my coaching clients. He says, hey Corey, looking forward to our next session, but I need some quick advice. Remember how I joked that I was seeing 2 to 3 women and had room for another one? Well, just me being me dropped another one into my lap. Background first. Last spring when I was going through a hard time with my wife, I went to a hockey tournament for my son and ended up drinking in a bar with one of the divorced moms. That's interesting. She was smoking hot, but I was married and didn't even think of anything. I ran into her last Thursday and she asked how it was going with my wife, and I held up my empty ring finger and gave a small smile. Within 5 minutes, she said we should have drinks the next time the boys play against each other. I said, no. How about I pick you up Saturday night and we go to dinner? She smiled and said that would be great. What a cocky fucking bastard you are. That is perfect. It's beautiful. It's just what you say. You're being direct, and instead of just leaving things up in the air, you're saying, how about we get together for dinner? And she's hitting on you. She's pursuing you. She's chasing you. She's suggesting these things. Like I say, I've said 1,000 times, is women will help you when they like you. And it's obvious that this really hot soccer mom, or I should say hockey mom, likes you, because she went out of her way to bring this up. So he says, I was thinking perfect opportunity to enjoy her company, but she's very conservative, very into her kids, not much will happen. Long story short, he has a great dinner with her, goes back to her house where she invited me in, and that's when I found out the house was empty. She got a babysitter. Why? Because she likes you. They help you when they like you. It's like you're romancing her, you're taking her out on a date, and what's she doing? She's doing her part. She's got, somebody's watching the kids for the night, and got the house for herself so she can get her freak on and have a little fucking fun for a change. So he says, long story short, it was a great dinner. Went back to her house and she invited me in, and that's when I found out the house was empty. After about an hour of chatting and laughing, we end up, much to my surprise, well, not to my surprise, to his surprise, in the bedroom. After I spent another hour or so talking and laughing, then I went home. I'm interested in her, quite actually, but having been married 18 years, I've never had a first date experience like that. Not really sure how much I should contact her to let her know I'm interested in something more serious and not just a one-night fling. But at the same time, don't want to push too hard. We've set up a lunch date for Friday. Should I just see her then and not contact her at all? Now, this is a point where you're starting to go back into friendship zone, Butler Zone. You're doing everything right. You're a stud, and you're basically going after what you want. You're a man. You show up. You court her. You romance her. She invites you back over to her house. Then one thing leads to another, and then you're in her bedroom, and you're shocked because you're getting laid. Well, it's like that doesn't fucking surprise me at all. As a matter of fact, you need to get used to that because that's going to continue to happen more and more. Because as your beliefs change, like I said, repetition is the mother of skill. And so what's happening is now you're going out, you're meeting women, you're going out on dates, and you're getting laid on the first date. And that's awesome. Well, once that becomes your standard, you just become used to it. And so you naturally are going to act in ways and say things that a guy who's used to always getting laid is going to say whenever he's on a date. And so what happens? The same thing fucking happens because women are all built the same way. We're emotional beings. It's like once you understand how they think and how they operate, and if you can implement this stuff and show up in your life, you're going to have more fucking pussy than you know what to do with. And what happens is the more choice you have with women, what you realize is that you want a better and better quality woman, a woman who has a better outlook in the world, the way she looks at the world, her beliefs, her positive attitude, how successful she is in her career, how successful she is at being happy, how good she takes care of herself, those kinds of things. She may even be somebody that's famous or 100 times more successful than you. It's like I talk about in my article, how to sexually attract women who are out of your league. That's what you want to get to, is you want to get to that point where you don't give a damn, where you just, everywhere you go, you fill the room with your masculine presence. And so, but now you had this dinner date and now you're setting up a lunch date. It's just like the friendship thing that you got caught up in several months ago. This particular client of mine, he had a woman that he was dating and sleeping with, and then he became her butler, basically, and then she started sleeping with a guy that she's been friends with for, I think, 10 or 15 years, and told him that she wanted to just be friends. And he went along with this for a long time. And so what you have to do is, if you want to keep this going, how often you contact her, you need to refer back to the book, because I speak of that in there. The key is that you don't, at least for the first 2 months, is you don't want to date somebody more than once a week, unless, of course, you just went out with her yesterday and she's blowing up your phone today going, I miss you, I can't wait to see you again. And then what you do is you say, I definitely want to see you, but I'm slammed the rest of the week. How about Tuesday and next week? And you're putting it off in the future because you're making her wait, because your time is scarce and it's limited. And so she's like, oh, it's the only thing that's got open. I better grab that. I better grab that date. I better accept that time. And this causes her to pursue you. And the more you get women to pursue and chase you, you don't even have to call women to go out on dates. They're going to be calling you. It's like, oh, okay, I got 3 texts here. I got one from Irene. I got one from Sandra. I got one from Jennifer. I got one from Veronica. Oh, who do I want to see? Let's see. Jennifer gives fucking amazing blowjobs. And then Veronica, I mean, when she gets on top, she just rocks my world. I mean, those are the type of things that you're gonna have to worry about and deal with. And so the key is that, what do you do going forward? It's like you keep doing what got you the success to begin with. Be direct. Make a definite date with her. Don't be doing these lunch date bull things unless you're going to be meeting at her house and getting a nooner in the afternoon, which is pretty fucking awesome. But like I said, what you're starting to do is, like, that's what guys do, is we go back to our old program. We go back to the old nice guy program. Okay, well, let me start going to lunch all the time and being her friend now. It's like, no, you don't want to do that. You want to be the mysterious knight in shining armor that she has to work to get a hold of, and that when she calls, she may or may not get a hold of you. And it may be tomorrow before she hears back from you. And as far as seeing you the next time, whatever you offer, she better make sure that she moves whatever she's got on her schedule out of the way so she can make sure she sees you. And if you do everything right and she values your time and you're sweeping her off her feet, hell, interest level cuts everything. And so You do what made you successful. What got you into her bedroom was being a challenge. Because when a woman says, hey, we should get together for a drink, that's her basically saying, hopefully he likes me and he'll say yes and commit to going to drinks. And not only did he say yes to that, but he says no to that. And he says, how about dinner? And what you're communicating back to her when you say dinner, you're saying, I'm also romantically interested in you, but I'd rather take you to dinner because I like you and I want to have some time to talk and chat instead of just drinks. And you took the bull by the horns, you made a date, you probably got her address, and all the thing you had to do next was just show up for the date. I mean, it's pretty simple. And so stop doing things, if you want to know how to continue this and move it forward, stop doing things that the friend would do and only do the things that are her knight in shining armor. And what would James Bond do? It's like he wants to go to dinner, hang out, maybe a little bottle of wine, a little champagne, then back to the room later, a little, and in and out, and thank you, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and on to the next one. And that has to be your attitude and your approach towards it. Like I said, your job is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. This girl obviously likes you and she wants romance, so keep giving her romance. Don't give her romance in the first date and fuck her brains out, and then the next date go be her buddy and her friend and have lunch with her. I mean, screw that. You want to be known as, like, whenever she sees you, you're going to make her feel good because you're romancing her. You're taking the time to take her to a nice dinner or plan out a wonderful evening, and more than likely you'll end up back at her place later the second time. But if you're just taking her to lunch, I mean, nothing's going to happen on that date. So cut that crap out. Don't do that stuff. And like I said, phone, texting, email, stop communicating with her other than responding to her texts or initiating contact to set a date once a week. And it sounds like after this date that went so well that, like, right away you planned something. So the other thing you don't want to do is, like, when one date ends, don't try to set up the next date at the end of the first date that you're on. Why? Because that looks weak and needy, and that communicates basically, I don't get very many dates, and so I'm going to nail you down to a date like next Thursday because I'm afraid if I leave, you won't pick up the phone anymore. You don't want to communicate that. You want to communicate. A guy that's abundantly busy, it's like he's not sure what his schedule is next Thursday or Tuesday. It's like, when she says, oh, I'd love to do this again, it's like, yeah, well, let's talk later in the week or something like that. Just leave it at that. And it's all you have to do. It's real simple. It's like, this is the problem. This is where guys go wrong. Or I should say this is one of the places they go wrong. You got some success, and you followed the plan, and it worked perfectly. And now what's happening is you're starting to go back to acting like the friend and the butler. And what you need to do is continue to act like the charming James Bond. So if you find these messages of value, please go ahead and on the Wibbia toolbar down at the bottom of the screen there, you'll see a PayPal donate button. You can donate $1, $5, $10, $50, whatever you feel this video and article is worth to you. At the very least, you can click the Facebook like button or share it on Twitter or any of the other social networks that are also located there. And if you have a question that you would like to ask me, so I can maybe answer your question in a future video newsletter, then go ahead and put it in the Facebook comments at the bottom, or click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of the screen and send me an email. And I'll talk to you soon.